summer is now a distant memory, but that hasn't stopped Ferrari lifting the lid on its stunning 488 GTB. The newcomer is called the 488 Spider, and promises to turn the driving thrills up to 11 by adding visceral wind-in-the-hair thrills to the standard car's scorching performance and athletic handling. More importantly, with the roof down, the Spider places the driver even closer to the brand's latest turbocharged V8 engine. Like its 458 predecessor, the Spider uses a folding metal hardtop, which means that whether the roof is up or down, the drop-top 488 looks every bit as gorgeous as the coupe. Above the waistline, the pair of sharply creased flying buttresses replace the coupe's clear glass engine cover, but elsewhere the Spider looks virtually identical. At the front there's the same low nose, gaping air vents and slim, swept-back headlamps, while the heavily sculpted rear wheel arcs feature vast inlets that force air to the car's twin turbochargers. And as we've come to expect with modern Ferrari models, the Spider is much more than a pretty face. Careful sculpting of the panels and tweaking of the car's underside have helped engineers perform the neat trick of both boosting aerodynamic downforce and reducing drag. The car is lighter, too, weighing in at 50 kilograms less than the 458 Spider. That's impressive, but for many Spider owners the really important figure is the 14 seconds it takes to stow the roof. Prod a button on the dash, and the aluminium panel flips gracefully up and over, before sliding unobtrusively beneath the panel ahead of the engine cover. Despite its clever mechanism, the folding roof actually weighs around 25 kilograms less than a traditional fabric covering. Plus, neat packaging means that even when the hardtop is stowed, there's still space for a handy luggage tray behind the front seats. More importantly, opening the 488's strikingly styled cabin to the elements puts the driver at the center of the action when they press the bright red starter button and the mid-mounted V8 yelps into life. The 3.9-liter engine is carried over unchanged from the GTB, which means you get the same race-derived flat crank design, twin IHI turbochargers and monstrous 660 bishop power output. Yet it's the thumping 760 Nm torque figure that dominates the performance. The old 458 was fast, but the 488 is on another level. Peak torque arrives at just 3,000 RPM, which means the Spider explodes out of corners with real violence. It doesn't matter what gear you're in or what speed you're doing, the Ferrari pins you into your seat and fires you down the road. What's really surprising about this display is that torque delivery is actually limited in the lower gears to help deliver a smoother and more linear acceleration. And it works, because there's absolutely no turbo lag. The engine responds to the throttle with almost the same scalpel sharpness as the old naturally aspirated 4.5-liter unit, but with far more mid-range muscle. The 0-62 mph sprint is demolished in an astonishing 3.0 seconds flat, while the top speed is a heady 203 mph. And then there's the noise. Any fears that the addition of turbos would have diluted the traditional Ferrari V8 soundtrack are banished the moment you squeeze the throttle and the needle on the red counter races around to the 8,000 RPM red line. From a deep bark through to a spine-tingling, hard-edged howl that's overlaid with a subtle whistle from the turbos, the 488 never fails to keep your ears entertained. This mechanical orchestra is conducted beautifully by the faster-acting 7-speed gearbox, which reaps up and down ratios with every pull of the large, column-mounted pedals. Of course, there's more to the Spider than beautiful looks and brute force. Head down a twisting back road and you'll discover it's every bit as involving and agile as the coupe. Chopping the roof off any car normally weakens the chassis, which has an adverse effect on handling,